Hello, this is the Blimey Cow YouTuber, and welcome back to another video. Today, I'll be watching, commentating on, and reading some of the comments under Messy Monday's 7 Things That Won't Be Cool in 20 Years. This was uploaded 10 years ago, um, so they won't be cool in 10 years. Also, the hindsight of the past 10 years will hopefully give us some um, insight onto how many of these actually ended up aging well, and they're already uncool.
Guys, the world is changing so fast, sometimes it's hard to keep up with what's cool and what isn't. But I do know a few things that won't be cool in 20 years.
First of all, you shouldn't be concerned necessarily with what's cool and what's not cool. If you like something, you shouldn't care what other people think about it. Either you like it or you don't like it.
Here's 7 of them. Number 1, talking to people in real life. Let me ask you guys.
Talking to people in real life is, I think, getting more cool. Or perhaps people are just becoming more divided on this. Because certainly there's a growing faction of people who hate the idea of, or are just don't necessarily hate, but are put off by the idea of like having internet friends that you met on the internet and exclusively talk to on the internet. While on the other side, there are people who are living their lives increasingly exclusively on the internet. So I don't know. I guess I could go either way on that one.
You guys a serious question. With iPhones and Facebooks and Twitter, what's the point of talking with people face to face? It's messy and awkward and uncomfortable. It's just so much safer to hide behind a screen to do all of your communicating. And I think the people in 20 years will recognize that.
Um. So talking with people in person can be awkward, I guess. Um, that mainly boils down to whether you're a awkward person, which I am. But again, I could go either way on that one as well.
Humanity evolves into one giant YouTube comment section, then I'd say we've reached our full potential as human beings. Or maybe we're all just in hell. Number 2, television. Think about how ridiculous it is to
Um, so like television isn't like actual programs, um, whatever, streamed to your house from like big companies, is to an extent going out of style. Television is like a thing that you um put in your living room and watch stuff on. Is going to be here for a while. So I'm assuming he's going for that first one.
say, okay guys, you get one chance to watch this TV show that's gonna be on at this specific time. So make sure that you're sitting down right in front of the TV when it comes on. Oh yeah, and every like 8 minutes there's gonna be like a 3 to 4 minute commercial break, but it's not that big of a deal. Are you kidding me? The Idiot Box is lucky that we've let it stay relevant this long after the internet became a thing. In 20 years, television as we know it today will be long gone. Who needs a bunch of soulless billionaires in California dictating what we're gonna watch anyway? Long live internet freedom. Number 3.
So at this point, I'm just confused as to whether or not they're making serious predictions or joke predictions. Because that first one I feel like was at least partially sarcastic. And the television seems pretty on point.
3. Tattoos. Tattoos are kind of a way of saying, I am so confident in what I'm going to like for the rest of my life that I am willing to have ink injected into my skin to prove it. With a tattoo, you are pretty much the definition of hip. For now. But let's face it, the next generation is gonna think that tattoos are lame because all the adults have them. But that's assuming that all the adults don't think that they're lame by then too. Your mother's on Facebook!
What is that on your wrist?
Okay, so tattoos are never going out of style. They're always going to be a thing. But it's like rock and roll. Rock and roll was like the 60s and 70s kids' way of rebelling. And now they do, I don't know. Well, then it was rap, and now it's, I don't know, TikTok. So if tattoos were the boomers and the Gen X's way of saying that or a way of rebelling, then we probably won't get them for rebellious purposes, but we'll just become what is modern rock, I guess.
Is that a tattoo?
Oh, yes it is, honey. It means something in Hebrew that I'll remember at another time. Go to bed. Was it peace, love, hope, or charity? I can't remember. Number 4, movie theaters. TVs and sound systems keep getting bigger and better, while at the same time, movie tickets are getting way more pricey. So movie theaters have one of 2 options. Die, or all IMAX all the time. But cheaper IMAX, $20 tickets are insane. I mean, I'm gonna go see The Dark Knight Rises, but that's it. I don't really think this one is gonna happen though. I'm sure someone's gonna come across this video in a few years and say, holy cheaper ticket prices! You used to be able to see an IMAX movie for only 20 bucks? Number 5.
So, movie theaters, I feel like there will always be a strong enough crowd to keep movie theaters in business. Although I can see. So one thing is people go to the theater to watch movies right when they come out, like before they're available in digital form. But with all the streaming services, that is less of a thing. Because most companies just release their movies directly onto the streaming services, which I never got any of why they did that in the first place. The any of that whole thing. But I feel like again, movie theaters they're just too well liked by the people who like them to become irrelevant.
Physical ownership. Music, movies, games, books. All of these things are things you used to buy in a store, but they're quickly becoming just a bunch of files on a smartphone. You say, sweet, my life made easier. Big corporations say, well, they actually don't really say much of anything. They're too busy laughing at us from their cloud. You know, their all-powerful server in which you willingly hold all of your information now. And if they ever decided to cut you off from it for any reason, you wouldn't have any of your stuff anymore? And this is somehow a good idea? Number 6.
Yeah, I never got the whole cloud thing. It's like, oh, it's unlimited space. It's not unlimited space. Okay? Like, it's just there's no tangible limit on the amount of space you can take up as long as you have a internet connection to connect to it, and as long as they don't decide to turn on you and steal all your stuff. But yeah, physical ownership. Again, there's a strong enough sect of people who like to have physical books, and physically owning movies and video games is becoming a smaller percentile of people at a greater rate than books are, I think. I think part of that is probably just because video games and movies are already technology, while books are not. I mean, I guess in some sense of the word, they're technology, but they're not technology in the way that we think of it. But yeah, I still like to have physical copies of movies, physical copies of video games, physical copies of books, and there is a good amount of other people that are on the same page as that. And then obviously physical ownership of land and cars and actual property is just not going away. I mean, I guess from a certain sense you could say that the titles to all those, like the title to your land is like held digitally somewhere, but it's still you own the physical land. It's you don't own digital land. Anyways.
Glasses. Glasses went from a necessity to a fashion statement to soon being obsolete. Pretty soon, scientists will be able to give you 20/20 vision like it's nothing. And they'll probably be able to insert your iPhone into your eyeball. And it'll be called, wait for it, eye. Oh boy, this was an...
You could have said like iPhone, just with the EYEPHONE. I. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's something that could like technically happen at some point, but I don't see it being popular in the foreseeable future. And the whole thing with glasses, like, yeah, corrective surgery already exists for that. Like, my mother had laser surgery like 30 years ago. So in that sense, glasses, you could say, have been obsolete forever, but just buying and wearing glasses. You know what? I almost wish that I didn't have 20/20 vision because I think glasses are dope. But maybe, I don't know. Maybe enough people will stop wearing them in the future that it'll become an unprofitable business, but I don't see it happening. And certainly not in the next 10 years.
Exciting day! Siri, let all my friends know on Facebook that I won this teddy bear this afternoon, okay? Thank you. Oh, I gotta take a picture on Hypergram. Oh, that was a good one. Great. Now I gotta pick a filter. Hopefully my friends don't get a little jealous that I want a teddy bear. Oh, that's a good one right there. Siri, I'm getting a little hungry. Can you decide for me where I'm gonna eat dinner? Okay, but honestly, a world without glasses will be great because then all the hipsters will have to find another way to let us know how anti-cool they are. I just finished a fascinating documentary on Netflix about the creation of PBR.
illuminating.
Excuse me, you dirty hipster! I need those glasses to see things! Thank you!
I don't need material possessions to be happy. And I didn't need glasses to see things, so I'm okay.
On second...
Is that the introduction of Hipster Josh? I'm trying to think back. And I'm not sure we've seen Hipster Josh before. I'm pretty sure that's the introduction of Hipster Josh. Wow. Mind blown. That's what I love going back and seeing these older videos and just like seeing all the things that we basically take for granted and seeing like that's the first time that happened. There used to be a time when that wasn't a thing. It's insane to me.
I thought hipsters would probably be the only ones still wearing glasses in 20 years. That is, if they still exist, which leads me to number 7, hipsters.
Oh yeah, I've been listening to Bon Iver since before Forever Forever ago.
Yeah! Hipsters can only...
How did the, hipster burn his mouth? He ate the pizza before it was cool. Hipsters are always gonna be a thing. Like, I'm sure hipsters have been around since, okay, let's see. Since, like, Noah's day. Because all the hipsters got killed in the flood. But then, as soon as they stepped out of the ark, and as soon as there were more than like 8 people on the planet, the ninth person would have been a hipster as well. Maybe that's why Noah cursed Canaan.
exist up until a certain level of self-awareness before they just self-eradicate. In 20 years, they'll only exist as a joke you use to be ironic.
Dude, I've been listening to this band since yesterday. I guess that makes me a hipster.
Yeah!
Wait, you still listen to music that came out yesterday?
I don't know. So are hipsters... Are they supposed to be cool, or anti-cool, or anti-culture, which is also cool, I guess? I feel like most people in culture try to be cool. So by being... You can't be counterculture and also... I just had a power out. That's insane. It's a good thing It's a good thing my computer's a laptop and works despite all that. Holy smoke. I don't know, that gave me the chills for some reason. Or maybe it just turned the AC on and now it's getting chilly in the room. Anyways, excuse my ADD, whatever, like squirrel power out, you know. Where was I? Hipsters, whatever. I don't even, I don't even anymore. So I'm gonna go look at some of the comments on this video, and I'll get back to you with those. Alright, so I've gone through and picked out a few comments, so let's just get right into reacting to some of them. At Marshmallow Mountains 4636 says, having a bookcase full of books feels way more satisfying than having a device full of books. I don't know, I like that I can physically touch and smell the books. Plus, books don't have batteries that can die. Um, they also don't have pages that light up. And you could say, oh well, I can use a flashlight, but then again, the flashlight has a um, battery that can die. Um, but yeah, um, I don't know. Again, I prefer the physical books. I you know reject modernity, embrace tradition. I'm all on board with all that. At Ethan Strode said, I actually need glasses, and honestly, I don't see why people choose to wear them. I've had them for 10 years now. They're actually really annoying when it comes to doing fun things, like going to an amusement park, playing sports, going swimming, etc. Um, so that can depend on um, how serious your, um, I guess, visual impairment is. Um, from what I've seen, most people that like need glasses, but they're not like horribly um, nearsighted or farsighted. Um, when it comes to doing stuff like that, swimming, playing sports or whatever, they just take them off and they're fine as long as it doesn't come to like reading or doing anything precise. Um, but yeah, as for people that choose to wear them, um, yeah, I wouldn't choose to wear glasses. Um, and there's certainly downsides, obviously, to having glasses. But that's not to say that they're all that bad, I think. Um, at Ziffy Winston 9270 says, I hope personal conversations in real life still exist in the fairly common sense in the future. I love talking to people, hearing their voice and seeing them. You understand their tones and emotions much more easily. Um, so you're banking that partially on the idea that that technology won't improve in the future. Because if your only concern is that um, tone and emotions are um, impaired through whatever means you might be using to communicate remotely, then you resign yourself to the idea that if those issues were resolved by improvements in technology, then you wouldn't um, care about it. Um, and there's less tangible things. I just think like we are physical beings. We're not digital, and trying to make any more of our lives than what is necessary confined to um, digitized media is just. I dislike it. I just dislike it. Um, at Adonixus Aquila says, I actually think tattoos will become more common in the future. I feel like they are being removed from being rebellious or tough and being seen as the art form they are. Um, Also, I love physical books. Digital ones are more convenient, but there's something about having the cover and pages. Okay. Um, I think the point of the point of what they said in the video was not that they will become uncommon in the future, but that they'll be so common that they're just innocuous and no one cares about them. Now, I feel physical pain in my soul at the idea of considering them an art form. They are a art medium. But not an art form, I think. I don't even... I just completely lost my train of thought. Anyways, point is, yeah, as I had said, they're not a rebellious thing anymore just because they're so common and innocuous at this point. But yeah, that's... Oh, I have one more here. At Kiwi2799 says, "Oh my, you were actually spot on with the 20/20 vision thing. It's a contact lens that they insert into your eye. Yes, it's injected into your eyeball. Then it expands or something of that sort. Then you'd be able to see even better than 20/20, but it's still being tested." I hate when people say better than 20/20 because 20/20 is by definition perfect vision. So what I assume you mean by saying better than 20/20 is that you get to see like almost like zoomed in on whatever you're looking at. And I just think there's a reason that human beings have the field of vision that we do. And I think making it more wide angle or more telephoto is not the best idea. It's not going to improve anything. And you also can't say that you should make one eye wide angle and one eye telephoto because that will just make it impossible to focus on anything that will get rid of your 3D vision. So, yeah, while the scientists are fooling around with stuff like this, all they're really doing is fooling themselves. But I don't know. Maybe that's just my opinion. Maybe I'm not getting the full picture. Maybe I don't know what it means to be better than... Because 20/20, what 20/20 vision means, my understanding is that if you have 20/20 vision, you can see something at 20 feet and it looks like you can see it as clearly as you should be able to see it at 20 feet. Which means, in my understanding, that it's perfect vision. But I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Anyways, though, what I do know is that that's all I have for this video. So I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you later. Bye.